Now, rather embarrassingly, when I was pre-drilling, I used the end of the fretboard line as my what I was thinking about. This is the problem when you're filming yourself, you don't tend to concentrate quite so hard. And we've got a little nick just out of the end there. It's not a problem in the slightest, it's just aesthetically annoying. However, obviously your router bit is round, and I now need to nick out the corners because I didn't want to round off the corners of my neck. So we use a nice sharp chisel to take this away. Now I'm very, very gently teasing the neck down so that it fits perfectly into this new cavity, being careful obviously to take evenly from either side. I'm using my lovely little number 1. I cannot tell you, I didn't think that I would use it quite so much, and I love it. Obviously you've got to be careful of the frets, you don't want to damage your blade. I've done a little bit of tweaking, playing around. And there we have it. I could not be happier. Oops. Now, interestingly, let's have a look at that. I like. That gives me the sort of angle that I need at the trim. Down there. Ideal. Success. And we'll obviously be carving the top, so that looks fine. Now that the neck is neck pocket is complete, we can move on to the rest of the routing. We are going to start with the pickups. Now, this is a 24 fret neck with a longer scale length than our usual guitars. So the template, this template is for a 629mm scale length 22 fret guitar, and the pickups are further apart. So we're going to have to do these individually. This is the exact same process as when we routed the neck pocket, except we've got a template already. But you have to be absolutely dead certain that it is perfectly stable and centered, which that isn't at the moment. I've had this template for quite a while, and the centerline is actually wearing away, and like any other tool, it is important to keep your templates sharp and accurate. So I'm just redrawing this like so, and then you also need to make absolutely certain that it lines up with the guitar, and therefore the centre line carries on through to the bottom of the template like that. Ever so gently clamp up your guitar. Again with 2 points so that you can be sure that your template won't move. And even so, be very gentle with the router. There we go. That centre line is lined up and we're ready to route. Now I've used the template to start routing the trem cavity, but I want to go all the way through this body, and the thickness of the template makes it a little bit more difficult. But now that I've routed the start, I can continue by using the body as the template. So I'm going to clamp this up with this hole over the edge of the bench and go from there. Now I've got to the point where I need to route out the tremolo spring cavity, and this particular bearing cutter is about 3mm too long, and well, we're going to put that shorter one in its stead. The further in you put the shaft of your router bit, and I'm going to stop holding that because that's rather heavy, the less chatter you get, especially with 1/4 inch or 8mm router bits. So it's worth bearing that in mind. Okay, that's done. Let us do some more routing. Now, we have pretty much finished the routing, or at least the routing that involves a hand router and a template. Now, there we go. So we've got the control cavities and recessed, all of that sort of stuff. I might consider doing a little bit of routing in there to give a little bit more room for the trem block to move back. I'm not too sure about that yet. And obviously the front of the guitar is done. Now, I mentioned more routing. What I will have to do is carve the front and do all of that, which will be the next video. And then I'm going to use a pin router to route the inside of this cavity and that cavity to match the carve of the top. And once that is done, it's just a case of carving and sanding and finishing and stringing her up and all of that. And there's my phone. Thanks for watching. My love.